Today, we New Yorkers rise with a heavy heart to honor the memory of Omer Neutra, a 21-year-old from Plainview, New York. A grandson of Holocaust survivors, Omer deferred his enrollment at SUNY Binghamton to serve in the Israeli Defense Forces, driven by a profound sense of duty and a dream of building peace in the Middle East. On October 7, 2023, Omer, serving as a tank commander, was among the first to respond to Hamas's brutal attack, risking his life to protect others. Tragically, as we learned this weekend, his life was taken during this horrific massacre. Omer's loss is deeply felt by the entire community in New York and across America. Flags across our state have been flown at half-staff in his honor, and we all joined together in mourning a young man of extraordinary courage and conviction. Our deepest condolences are with his parents, Orna and Ronan, his brother Daniel, and their entire family. For the past 423 days, driven by the love of their son, Orna and Ronan have endured something that no parent should ever have to endure. With strength, courage, resolve, and hope, they traveled the world, petitioned world leaders, visited Washington dozens of times, and fought tirelessly to bring their son home. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to speak with Orna and Ronan and offered my profound sorrow for their loss and that of our country. I told them how much I admire, respect, and love them, for they never stopped fighting. And I promised them we would never stop fighting to bring Omer's body home and get them the justice they deserve. We will bring them home. May Omer's memory always be a blessing, and may we never forget his sacrifice in the pursuit of peace and in the defense of democracy. I now yield 1 minute to the esteemed House Republican Chair and future U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Elise Stefanik.
Thank you, Mr. Lawler. October 7th marked one of the darkest days in history, the bloodiest day for the Jewish people since the Holocaust. Iranian-backed Hamas committed unspeakable atrocities against humanity, savagely murdering 1,200 innocent Israelis, viciously assaulting and raping women, and taking hundreds of men, women, babies, and elderly victims hostages. And on this day of pure evil, Omer Neutra lost his life commanding his tank platoon in defense of Israel against these barbaric Hamas terrorists. Omer was an incredibly brave 21-year-old American Israeli and New York native who grew up on Long Island, loved the Knicks, and was the captain of his high school basketball team. After spending a gap year in Israel, Omer joined the IDF in 2020, putting off his plans to attend SUNY Binghamton. In the IDF, Omer served as a tank platoon commander on the Gaza border. As the catastrophic events of Hamas's barbaric October 7th attacks were unfolding, Omer's parents, Ronan and Orna, immediately began their advocacy to find their beloved son. For over 420 days, Ronan and Orna shared Omer's story and brought attention to the hostages being held by Hamas in Gaza. They bravely kept their hope and light through dozens of meetings with U.S. and Israeli government officials advocating on behalf of Omer and the other hostages. Ronan and Orna's strength and resilience for over 400 days truly embodies the light that Israel stands for and that Hamas tried and failed to extinguish. It has never been more important to support our most precious ally in its fight for survival and let the world know that this is not Israel's fight alone. And as the 45th and 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, has made crystal clear, if the hostages are not released, there will be all hell to pay. And I yield back to Mr. Lawler.
Thank you to our nominee for the U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations. I now yield 1 minute to the ranking member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, the Honorable Gregory Meeks of New York.
My heart goes out to Omer's family. October 7th, 2023. Beautiful, clear day. Omer, a 21-year-old who decided that he was going to make a difference and have peace in the Middle East. Just there on duty and then being called because of a horrific attack across the border of Gaza into Israel. 21 years old. He put everything to a side. Never thought on that morning when he woke up that he would have to go into battle to try to save lives because of a vicious attack of pure hate was taking place. He lost his life. An American Israeli citizen killed. A tank platoon commander in the IDF. I can't even imagine the strength and the pain that his family, his mother, his father, Rodin and Omer, have felt and continue to feel. We stand here united today, Democrats and Republicans, members and people of the United States of America, saying that we will stand together. We will be with you. We will continue to pray. For we must make sure that his life was not given and taken in vain. Together, we must make sure that his name is forever, as well as all who lost their lives and those that need to be returned home, because all hostages should be returned home immediately. And strive and move for peace in the Middle East. We cannot stop. We cannot forget. We've got to lock arms, hand in hand, until there is peace. And a 21-year-old who had a dream is not deferred. A 21-year-old who just wanted peace is not stopped. We will stand together as American citizens to say we will stop evil that is happening, and that happened on that day of October the 7th. And I yield back.
Thank you to the ranking member. And now yield 1 minute to my colleague, Congressman Tom Suozzi, who represents the Neutra family as a member of Congress.
I want to thank Mr. Lawler, and I want to thank all of my colleagues for standing here together today. 8 years ago, I met a 14-year-old Solomon Schechter school freshman at the local Salute to Israel event at the Sid Jacobson JCC on Long Island. His name was Omer Neutra. When I met Omer's parents, Ronan and Orna Neutra, in December of 2023, they described Omer as a likable, big, goofy kid who excelled in sports and who other kids liked to be around. After graduating from the Solomon Schechter School, Omer, whose grandparents were Holocaust survivors, decided that before going to Binghamton University, he would join the Israel Defense Forces. Instead of staying for just a year, he worked his way up to become a tank commander. On October 7th, 2023, Omer was the victim of the surprise attack by the Hamas terrorists. For 420 days, Omer's parents and his brother Daniel have done everything they can with the love and support of hundreds of thousands of others to free their son from captivity. Every day, they soldiered on through alternating deep sorrow and brief bursts of hopefulness. They went from crushing anxiety to steely determination. Just a few days ago, we learned that this young man, this bright light, this courageous idealist, made the ultimate sacrifice. Omer had not been alive for the past 422 days. He was murdered on October 7th. Now, all of his family's alternating emotions have been replaced with deep grief. We who know them grieve with them. We thank God for the gift of his life. We pray for the Neutras. And tonight, we rededicate ourselves to Omer's just cause. We resolve to move forward, guided by his example, his courage, and his memory. And may his memory be a blessing. Am Israel Chai.
Thank you, Congressman. I now ask that all members join me for a brief moment of silence in honor of Omer Neutra. Thank you, and I yield back.